Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. We welcome you in series of Everyday with Bhagavad Gita. So, as mentioned, today we are going to cover Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, text number 11 to 15. So, let's start with chapter number 1 point, shalok number 11, text number 11. अयानेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागम् अवस्थिताः भीष्मम् एवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. All of you must now give full support to grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic point of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Prabhupada has given a very nice purport in this. Prabhupada says, Duryodhana, after praising the power of Bhishma, further considered that others might think that they had been considered less important. So in his usual diplomatic way, he tried to adjust the situation in the above words. He emphasized that Bhishma Deva was undoubtedly the greatest hero, but he was an old man, so everyone must especially think of his protection from all sides. He might become engaged in the fight and the enemy might take advantage of his full engagement on one side. Therefore, it was important that other heroes not leave their strategic position and allow the enemy to break the phalanx. Duryodhana clearly felt that the victory of the Kauravas depended on the presence of Bhishma Deva. He was confident of the full support of Bhishma Deva and Dronacharya in the battlefield, because he well knew that they did not even speak a word when Arjuna's wife Draupadi, in her helpless condition, had appealed to them for justice while he was being forced to appear naked in the presence of all the great generals in the assembly. Although he knew that the two generals had some sort of affection for the Pandavas, he hoped that these generals would now completely give it up as they had done during the gambling performance. Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 1, text number 12. Tasya sanjanayan harsham Guru Vriddha Pitamaha Simhanadham Vinodyachai Sankham Dudmau Pratapavaha. Translation. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy. Here, about this explanation, the verse says the grandson of the Kuru dynasty could understand the inner meaning of the heart of his grandson Duryodhana, and out of his natural compassion for him, he tried to cheer him by blowing his conch shell very loudly, befitting his position as a lion. Indirectly, by the symbolism of conch shell, he informed his depressed grandson Duryodhana that he had no chance of victory in the battle because the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna was on the other side. But still, it was his duty to conduct the fight and no pain would be spared in that connection. Verse number 13. Tata shankascha bhairyascha panavanaka gomukha sahasaivaabhiyanantaya Sashabdastumalo Bhavad. After that conch shell, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. Text number 14. Tata Shvetar Hihiryukte Maheti Sandane Sthitau Madhava Pandavas Chaiva Divyau Shankau Padadamantahu. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna stationed on a great chariot drawn by the white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shell. In this explanation of the verse, in contrast with the conch shell blown by the Bhishma Deva, the conch shell in the hands of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental or divine. The sounding of the transcendental conch shell indicated there was no hope of victory for the other side, because Krishna was on the side of the Pandavas. Jayastu Pandavo Putranam Yasham Pakshe Janardana. Victory is always with the person like the son of Pandu, because Lord Krishna is associated with them, and whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess Fortune is also there, because the goddess of fortune never lives alone without her husband. Therefore, the victory and the fortune were awaiting Arjuna, as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the conch shell of Vishnu or Lord Sri Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which both the friends were seated had been donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna. And this indicated that this chariot was capable of conquering all sides wherever it was drawn over the three material worlds. Today's last text number 15, we are going to read Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Pondaram Dadmahu Mahasankham Bhimakarna Vikrudraha. Translation: Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his the Devadatta, and Bhima, the Viracious eater and the performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Pondara. Lord Krishna is referred to as in this verse as a Rishikesh, because he is the owner of our all senses. The living entities are the part and parcel of him, and therefore the senses of the living entities are also a part and parcel of his senses. The impersonalist cannot account for the senses of the living entities, and therefore they are always anxious to describe all living entity as senseless or impersonal. The Lord, situated in the hearts of all living entities, directs their senses, but he directs in terms of surrender of a living entity. And in the case of a pure devotee, he directly controls the senses. Here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controls the transcendental senses of Arjuna, and thus his particular name of Rishikesha. The Lord has different names according to his different activities or the pastimes. For example, his name is Madhusudana because he killed the demon of the name Madhu. His name is Govinda because he gives pleasure to the cows and to the senses. His name is Vasudev because he appeared as the son of Vasudev. His name is Devaki Nandan because he accepted Devaki as his mother. His name is Yashoda Nandana because he awarded his childhood pastime to Yashoda at Vrindavan. His name is Parth Sarthi because he worked as a chariot of his friend Arjuna. Similarly, his name is Rishikesh because he gave direction to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Arjuna is referred to as Dhananjaya in this verse because he helped his elder brother in fetching wealth when it was required by the king to make expenditure for different sacrifice. Similarly, Bhima is known as Vrikudara because he could eat as ferociously as he could perform Herculean tasks such as killing the demon Hidamba. So the particular types of conch shell blown by the different personalities on the side of Pandavas, beginning with the lords, were all very encouraged to the fighting soldiers. On the other side, there were no such credits, nor the presence of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead directors, nor that of the goddess of fortune. so they were predestined to lose the battle. And that was the message announced by the sounds of the conch shells. So here we are going to end our today's session. We request all the devotees, if you have any query, question, please send us a WhatsApp message on 00971 5566 We will answer your all questions. Try to invite your family and friends. Send them these WhatsApp messages so every day they can purify themselves by reading, listening, and uttering the shlokas of divine message of Lord Sri Krishna, which is the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.